I am in a fairly spooky, foggy forest about an hour away from Stuttgart in Germany. All you can hear are birds and a motorway somewhere over there. But I'm here to do some off-roading in a Mercedes that's in existence now. It's in production, but it's been modified heavily. It's also fully electric. In other words, it's the perfect candidate for massive torque, slow obstacle tackling. It's very exciting and it's very high. I'm Jonny Smith, aka Car Pervert, and this is the Late Brake Show. Thing is, Mercedes are no strangers to the EV world. In fact, they were experimenting with electric cars as far back as the 80s with the W123 Electro and the 190e Electro. Then they did something called the knee car. Then they brought out things like the A-Class E-Cell experimental car, a couple of vans. Then they did the B-Class with Tesla drivetrain because they actually owned a percentage of Tesla, and then they sold it for some reason. But the car that I'm looking at here is a car that's been on sale since last year, the EQC. It's an SUV, but it's a bit different, yeah? You can see it's a bit higher, it's a bit wider, it's a bit more aggressive, because we're going to do some electric off-roading. Welcome to the Late Brake Show. That noise is my brakes, and I'm Jonny Smith, and I'm reversing down a very steep quarry hill in an electric Mercedes. And yes, I've got a mask on, because someone somewhere did something they shouldn't have. The first thing I noticed was as soon as I climbed into it, I almost couldn't get into it without the footstep because it's so much higher.
So keep now to the full left, please.
Okay, I can't see what I'm doing now.
Yeah, so the camera helps a lot here.
Yeah. God, we are high, aren't we, up here? Am I going down there?
Yeah.
Sure. Okay, let's go down this hill then. I can feel a back wheel coming off. Are we cocking a leg? Yeah, we are. We're totally cocking a leg.
We're also regaining energy in off-road.
Of course. So when you're in hill descent mode, it is regenerating the batteries as well, which
to
is
a certain level, yes.
Brilliant.
Well, let's try something very stupid. Let's go up here. Let's see if it works.
Oh, you've never done it? Oh, brilliant. Brilliant. Wait, there or there?
This one.
This
no,
one?
This is for the motorcycle. It's
okay.
Our car is a little bit too wide for that.
Okay,
Let's try this stuff.
Some big rocks there.
Yeah.
So
keep the momentum. Yes, perfect.
God, that's properly rocky. That's properly rocky.
Perfect.
Can't really see what I'm doing if I'm totally honest, but okay. Now,
I think that was quite impressive, wasn't it?
That's really impressive. So this is one of these beautiful cutaways of a car. So it's an EQC that's been hacked about, but really well. And this is Wolfgang, who's going to show me around.
Hey, Jonny.
Hey, Wolfgang, how you doing? Well, let's start at the front. Obviously, familiar nose that you now see on the EQC. You've got the active flaps behind the grille, which can shut the grille off completely or let air in for a limited amount of flow for cooling. You've got obviously the motor down there, the front motor, because it's four-wheel drive motor here, motor back there. What's above the motor? We've got inverter.
There's some tech you need for like a compressor, of course. Then you see the orange cables for the high voltage. You see the actual frame. What kind of this frame is specific. You usually don't have that in an electric car. We decided to mount the front motor, which has 150 kilowatts. The same as the rear motor. Both have 150. This one is more for efficiency. So you want to drive in the city or you cruise easily, you use that one. The one in the back brings in the performance. But the cool thing that we were able to was we can mount this motor on the frame with rubber mounts. So it's decoupled, and the high spinning noise of a motor of electric engine or electric motor is not transferred via hardware to this frame.
Right.
And there's a second pair of rubber mounts from the frame to the rest of the structure.
Yeah.
So it doesn't go on the frame, and the little bit that might go on the frame doesn't go on the rest of the hardware architecture. So that's cool. That's why the NVH and the whole noise and sound level of this car is so remarkable.
I see. So it kind of detaches the connectivity of the motors.
On two ways, yeah.
I got a question for you. Why have Mercedes done this? What's been the purpose?
It shows you the direction of the future, I would say. We have done off-roading for many decades now. I think we are very capable in off-roading.
Yeah.
And in the future, you will have the combination of off-roading and electric mobility. So we are switching on the camera again.
Bit of wading, look. So this is super wet, and I'm coming at it from almost no power.
Just straight, please. Straight.
That's really quite impressive, I have to say. So I'm just driving by that screen, which feels completely alien to me. Driving, looking down in the middle of the dash rather than out the windscreen. Yeah. Knowing that the EV is obviously a strong part of the future, and EQ being Mercedes electric-only brand. What you're saying is that you're only going to build more electric models.
Yes.
Surely the EQS is coming out next, which is the S-Class all-electric, which is going to be really exciting. Talk to me about electric G-Wagons.
To be honest, I cannot tell you at the moment.
Yeah, you can.
No, you can drive to the right, please.
You really can.
No, I can't tell you anything because you have to ask Wolfie about that. What I can show you now is downhill speed regulation.
So if I come off the brake now,
yes.
So is that hill descent mode?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, so now that's regen and a bit of tweaking on the ABS.
Yes.
Nice.
Normally you don't have it in the EQ.
That's nice. This is good, isn't it?
Just try and get up here.
You want to go up a bit?
Yeah.
What, just to make your life a little harder?
Yes.
So it's loose on the right and it's rocky and dry on the left. So it's two different types of terrain, basically.
Feels easy, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I feel sorry for the tyres, but everything else I'm cool with. I love the fact that I could go and buy an EQC tomorrow, and then I could potentially order portal axles and, kind of bead-lock type tyre wheels and knobbly tyres.
And also here you can feel the traction system. It is working. Yeah, it's
so quiet in here, though. Considering what we're doing, what we're scrabbling over, I don't want to damage it.
Yeah.
Do you know what? It looks so good with these wheel arches and that stance. It beefs it, because the thing is, the EQC is actually a very slippery looking design, and it looks, I don't know whether it really is, but it looks quite low in standard form.
Yes.
I guess for maybe more aerodynamics and efficiency.
Efficiency, yes.
There's blue lights and there's holes in the floor, and that can only mean there's a battery pack that lives down there.
Yeah, blue lights are not standard. This is part of this, but definitely there's orange, so it means high voltage.
Yeah.
And then you see lots of aluminium, and that's the battery case.
Yes.
You see some pipes in there, some black ones.
I noticed these.
Yeah, exactly. Therefore, this is liquid cooled the battery, so that we can have the battery in a perfect temperature frame always, no matter if you're in Sweden, if it's super cold, or you're in the heat of South Africa. It doesn't matter, because the software drives the temperature management, and the liquid flows
So maximum charging ability, DC
110 kilowatt.
110 with the CCS.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it has an AC charger for just home or regular wall boxes on the street where you just plug it in the city and go shopping for 2 hours and come back.
Do you know what? I always forget how much I enjoy off-roading. I enjoy it an awful lot. Ow, I just banged my head.
And it feels very easy in that car. With other cars, you will be smashed around, and
Yeah.
here it's cool.
I do like the EQC's dash. This kind of double width screens.
Now we switch to the off-road mode for sand use.
So again, that's your sort of electric locking diff idea where it uses the
Yes.
ABS.
But in the sand, you don't want to lock the tires, and you want to have full power in the sand. And this is the difference between off-road and off-road plus.
Okay. Bit of EV off-roading.
So we're going back again.
We're going to go back. This just feels like you're rewinding the film and not really doing it. Oh, hang on. Oh, for a second then I thought it was struggling, and then it was like, nah, I just needed a little bit more throttle.
Yes.
So on my shopping list next then, Hendrik, just so you know, and the rest of the MB team, I'm looking for one of two things. One, a fully electric E-Class estate all-terrain, please. Or a fully electric G-Wagen, please.
Okay,
So if
so I will call Ola this evening and tell him, and
Yes.
I think we will do that.
If you say to Ola, he's a nice guy, I've met him, he's a nice bloke,
Let's try that.
but yeah, just say, look, can we make this happen, please? I'm a big fan of Mercedes estates. I've had a few of them over the years, and I would deeply like an electric four-wheel drive off-roady Mercedes estate. That would be quite cool. But if he turned around and said, Johnny, that's not possible, but I can get you a fully electric G-Wagen, I'd be like, yeah, I mean, I think I can work with that.
So which one would you prefer, this one or the G-Wagen, or both? Or?
I mean, both just plain greedy, isn't it?
I know I was saying it a lot while I was driving, and Mercedes are refusing to officially confirm it, but I know there is going to be a production G-Wagen EV launching in the not too distant future, which is one of the reasons why this 4x4 squared EQC project exists.
Have you driven this back to back with the G-Class?
We have been in the Alps last week and have also driven with the G-Class, and the G guys were quite impressed about our car, let's say.
Were they?
Yes,
Because
they
it's a
were.
different department,
Yes,
is it? Okay.
yes. The good thing about this car is everybody can drive it easily. So the G-Wagen is very special. It's the most capable car in off-road, but you have to know how to use the clutches and all the things, and the differential locks, and we are very impressed about the performance of that car. And for the normal, let's say normal customer, it's very sufficient, this one.
Well, I have to say, this has been truly effortless. I mean, I'm not really doing a lot, am I?
Yes.
The steering's easy. We're in a comfortable cabin. All we're doing is occasionally switching from off-road mode to off-road plus mode. So if you do want to buy an EQC, they've been available now for about a year. And they're extremely refined, quiet 5-seat SUVs. You can't buy one in this spec yet. However, you never know, right? You'd like it to be available.
Yes, that's true.
You very much.
And I'm working on it. We are trying to push and to get a good feedback from the car, and let's see in the future.
Yeah. The thing that I'm amazed at is that these two are the same car, but they look completely different just by having a body lift with portal axles, different tyres, different wheels, and okay, that's got mud on it. But this is the same car. That's been for sale now for about a year, and it costs less than the Audi e-tron, and it costs a little bit more than the Jag I-Pace. But what a transformation. And it also proves that EV is going to be, I think, ever more popular for off-roading, because you have that instant torque, and that's what you need for scrabbling around on rocks and mud. I've really enjoyed that. If you've enjoyed watching it, please let me know in the comments below. I've been Jonny Smith, aka Car Pervert, and this has been The Late Brake Show.